welcome back to the Spoonie Stitcher channel. I'm Shannon the Spoonie Stitcher, you're inside the stitchery, and I'm so happy you're here today. Today is our first Potter TOT-torial. And of course, who else would we start out with than Harry? Ahahaha. But he's the only one you knew about. But he's not the only one you can make with this tutorial. Oh no. You can also make Draco and Ron super easily. Harry, Draco, and Ron are all the exact same pattern. And I'm going to explain that in just a moment. Also, Draco's scarf you can easily make by just switching out the colors of the scarf pattern. So in this tutorial, you will learn how to make the scarf, Harry, Ron, Draco, Harry's glasses, and his scar. Gather up all your materials. They are listed in the description box below, and we can get started. Now these are colors from the movie because I've never read the books. Don't come after me in the comments. But I also wanted 2 golds and 2 silvers. I thought it looked nicer. So they are really easy, super beginner friendly, and they also make really cute bookmarks. Just a thought. So what I did was I wanted the color changes to be very easy, and I didn't want you guys to have to sew a million ends. You're welcome. So what I did was I used this technique. I don't know what it's called. I know part of it is carrying a color, but we don't carry it all the way across so that we get this gorgeous little design on the back. By doing so, you're going to love this part. You don't have to sew in any ends. That's right, 0. 0 ends have to be sewn. You're welcome. So let's get started and begin with the scarf. So I am using claret and goldenrod. I'm going to start out with my A color. My A color is going to be the claret. So I'm going to make a slip knot, my 3.5 millimeter hook. I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to crochet in the back bumps. See the little bumps? I'm going to crochet in that instead of the back of the chain. So I'm going to crochet 1 back bump, 2, and 3. Chain 1, turn. 3 single crochet across, 1, 2, and the third one we're going to start a single crochet and not finish it. Now we're going to add in our B color. For me, that's goldenrod. Leave a decent tail, but not too long because you are going to crochet over it. So I'd say about that should be good. Pull your A color tight, pull your B color, long tail, tight, and chain 1. Turn. Grabbing your little tail of your B color, lay it on top, and crochet right over it. If you need to pull down on this one a little bit more, that's okay. So 3 single crochet across, 1 over your tail, 2, 3, chain 1, turn, kind of pull your tail up and around and lay it on top again. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, turn. One more time over the tail, 1, 2, and now I am dropping the tail. And in the last one, I will not be working over the tail. 3. Okay, pause real quick and snip off the tail. There you go. One more time, chain 1, turn, 1, 2, start the single crochet but don't finish it, in, pull up. With your B color, pull it down on your hook, kind of tight, and grab with your thumb over here. With your A color, wrap and pull up through the hole. Now, you can loosen it a little bit, make sure that your scarf doesn't curve too much, and chain 1. Turn. Let your B color dangle. Now we're going to go across 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, turn, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, turn, 1, 2, and we're going to change colors in the third one. Start our single crochet, hold with our thumb, bring up the B color, wrap, pull through loosely, not too loose, pull it a little bit, chain 1, and turn. See how our color changes are all on the back this way? But they still look pretty good, and you don't have to sew in a million tails. You're welcome. Now, we just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're about to start row 11. You are going to complete this pattern for 30 rows. So you have your half block where you started, that's this one right here. So counting up from, you have a B block, an A block, a B block, an A block, a B block, an A block, and you end in a B block. Which means you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more blocks to go, and then you'll have your scarf. And all you do at the very end is you chain 1, you fasten off, and you pull up. And you want decent tails on either side, because all I do so that they're removable is I just tie a little bow so that they're around the neck. You can always sew them if you want, but I like the idea of them being removable. So that's all you got to do for the scarf. You need to make a magic ring. Drape over 2 fingers, pinch with your thumb, wrap and create an X. Wrap back around and pinch with your thumb again. Turn your hand, use your hook with the hook side down, go under the first loop, grab the next loop, pull it through, whoop, and twist. At the same time, grab this piece and pull it through the hole. There you go. And it'll look like that. 6 single crochet into your magic ring. Insert your hook, wrap over, bring through, wrap and go through. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. 1, 2, 3. In, wrap, pull up, pull through. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. In, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through. Once you have 6 single crochet, pull the tiny tail slightly closed. We still want a hole there. We're going to insert our hook into the next stitch. That is this one right here. Not this little bump. This bump is nothing. This is a stitch. 2 loops on your hook, please. Wrap, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, wrap, pull through again, and in the same stitch, you're going to do another one. Now, where's your stitch marker? Count back 2, 1, 2, mark that stitch. This is an increase round. That means there will be 2 single crochet in every stitch. And 2 more. 1, 2. Count and make sure you have 12. The next row we are going to help sew in our tail, and we are going to do a staggered increase. Staggered increase means that whatever you do in the first row, you don't do in the next row. So to start that, take out your stitch marker, put 2 single crochet in the next stitch. 1, 2, get your stitch marker back and count the first one. Back up, 1, 2. In the very next stitch, you're going to just make 1 single crochet. You're going to repeat that pattern around 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 until you have 18 stitches. So 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you should end on a single crochet all by itself. Okay, I'm going to pause and sew in my tail. You could also work over your tail if you want to. I'm just going to sew mine in. I'm just going to pick any stitch, and I'm going to do the lazy way, which is I just make a knot. I know that's not the way that like you're supposed to do it, but that's what I do and I don't care. Okay, your next row, you're going to take your stitch marker out. You're going to make 1 single crochet in this stitch. Mark it. 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And an increase, or 2 stitches, in the next stitch. So that is your pattern. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. So 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. And you should have 24 stitches at the very end. I will meet you at the end. Okay, you should have 24 stitches. Please count them. Remember, we count the little V's. Now in the next round, we are going to start building up. So we are going to take out our stitch marker, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite tricks ever. Take out your stitch marker, put in 1 stitch, and then in the next stitch, make another stitch. Stop. Now, I'm going to use a different color stitch marker, and I am going to count back to 1, 2. Now, normally we put our stitch marker up here in the top, right? That's where it normally goes, so that we can see when we go around. But when you like to go in continuous rounds, I like to put it on the side. Like that. And I'm going to show you why. So we're going to put 1 single crochet in every one of these stitches until we get back to that stitch marker, and I will show you why I like doing it this way. Also, in this round, round 5, I strongly recommend that you count your stitches as you go in this particular row, because this is your foundation row, and if your foundation row numbers are off, the rest of it will be off, and if you mess up, you don't want to do what we call frogging, which is ripping out your stitches. You don't want to do that. So, please count. Make sure you have 24 stitches. Okay, we are back at the stitch marker. Now, we're going to single crochet on top of that stitch, like that, and then crochet in the next one. Now look, it creates a line. See this line? You just follow that up as you crochet around and around, and you don't have to move it every single time when you put it on the side. This is my trick. When I put it on the top, this is an increase round or a decrease round. When it's on the side, it's a continuous around and around. Just a fun little tip that I like to use. Now you can use it too. So, rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, you just finished 5. So 6 through 9, you are just going to go around and around. And in the last stitch, before round 10, is where I will meet you. Okay, see this beautiful line this has created? Look at this. These are all of our stitches. This is 5 through 9. How beautiful is that? Now, we've still got our other stitch marker that we need. So, this is the last stitch before the next round. This is where you need to change color here. So we're going to insert our hook, wrap and pull up. Don't finish. Leave 2 loops on your hook. Grab your next color, probably a skin tone, and grab your 2 pieces like this and twist. Now grab the other one with your hand like that and pull that color through the 2 loops. Tighten down both of them like that. Now in the next round, round 10, we are slip stitching in the back loop only. So this is the back loop. We are putting our hook in, wrapping, and pulling through everything. That is a slip stitch. You're going to do that all the way around. It seems like an extra step, but I promise you, this is one of the cleanest ways to change color. It is called the almost perfect color change. And I have a really slow, easy tutorial on my channel already if you want a really slowed down version of how to do this. And of course, I will link it below. You don't even really need a stitch marker for this row because you can see the color difference clearly. Don't forget the stitch. It's a stitch. Now, round 11. Don't forget this stitch, it's very important. In the back loop only of the next row, we will do a single crochet. So here we are, this back row right here, insert our hook, pull up a loop, go through 2. Now it's got a bit of a gap, it's okay, the gap goes away, I promise. So if it looks like you can see, in my case green, through the pink, that's okay. Just single crochet in every back loop, all the way around. Okay, this is the last stitch of this round. Don't miss it. And there we go. Now, rounds 12, 13, and 14, all you do is you just continue going around. Now we're going through both loops like you're used to. Make sure you still have 24. That's important. And just go around and around. You can move your stitch marker up if you'd like to. Or you can use your other one. And I would mark 12 instead of 11 or 10 because it's kind of hard to mark that one. So I would mark round 12, 13, and 14, and I will meet you at the end of round 14. Okay, almost done with row 14. Now, there's one stitch left for this row. I'm going to start my single crochet and stop, change to my hair color. I am making Harry, so I am going to use Big Twist Value in chocolate brown. Just like we did before, going to add in my brown, pull on my skin tone a little bit, pull on my hair color a little bit, and there we go. Okay, to make Harry's hair, we are going to do a series of spike stitches and single crochet. This is not tricky, this is not hard, I promise. Okay, all you have to do, oh, first of all, this is round 15. Probably should have told you that. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to, see this short tail here? I'm going to make my first stitch over this tail, and then I'm going to tie a knot with the skin tone so that everything stays in place. So my very first stitch is called a spike stitch. A spike stitch is a long single crochet. So instead of doing a single crochet right here, which is what we would normally do, we would normally do that. We're going to go down one more row. We're going to go right here under this stitch. Keep your tension a little bit medium, not too tight, not too loose, because you don't want to squish the head. I'm going to insert my hook right here under this single crochet. Grab my yarn, pull it through, and then loosely pull up so that I have a long stitch like this, and then complete a regular single crochet, or as I would with a single crochet. Then I'm going to pause real quickly, take my short tail for my hair color, my long tail for my skin color, and tie a knot. And if you haven't fastened off already with your skin tone, you can do so now. Then I'm just going to tuck my tails on the inside. Now, we don't have to think about them anymore. Okay. So what I just did, this spike stitch, I'm going to do 10 more times. So I'm going to go under this single crochet, grab my yarn, pull up, and go through. Under the single crochet, grab, pull up, and come through. That's 3. We need a total of 11. Under, wrap, pull up, and through. Under, wrap, pull up, and through. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Double check to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Okay. The next 2 stitches are regular single crochet. So just like you normally would. 1 and 2. So our next spike stitch goes right here. Do you see it? Where's my needle? Here we go. Right here. So here's where we would put it, but we're doing a spike stitch, so we go down 1, so it goes right there. Okay, and 10 more of those. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I've got one stitch left, and it goes right there. There you go. Make sure you have 24 stitches all the way around. Harry, Ron, and Draco are all the same pattern, but round 15 is the only change. As I told you, Ron has spike stitches all the way across. Harry has 2 single crochet in the middle for his part. Draco has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spike stitches. Then skip this stitch. Don't chain anything, don't do anything, just skip over. Go to the next stitch, make 3 spikes in the same stitch right here. Skip over this stitch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spike stitches, and then an extra long spike stitch, which goes down 2 stitches instead of just 1. See how this one stops right there? Now you just go down to the next one to make this one. And you don't even have to do this. You could just do 1 spike stitch right here. was trying to create a better hairline for him, but it's completely up to you. If you just want to add a stitch right there for your last stitch, that's fine too. But that's how you make Draco. Ron is spike stitches all the way across, and then Harry has 2 single crochet in the middle. That's it. That's the only difference. That's it. Okay, now we're going to add his face. So remember how we have 2 stitch markers? I'm going to take this one and clip it to the other one, so that if this happens, our project is safe. Now turn it to the front. The front is where his little bang part is, right there. Grab your safety eyes. The first regular single crochet is kind of acting like our midline, but it's not. Obviously our midline is right between the 2 stitches, but for counting purposes, this is going to be where you start counting. So this is inside row 15 because the spike stitches hang down low, so the regular single crochet are easier to see. You are going to go down to 14, 13, and between 12 and 13, this line right here, that's where your eyes go. So we were right here, and we're going to go over 2 stitches. 1, 2. Eye number 1 goes right here. That would be under your, so this is 11, this is your 10th spike stitch that you made. Okay. Go back to our little midline here and do the same thing. Go down, count over 2. 1, 2. Our other eye goes here. There we go. Basically, just make sure you have 3 stitches in between your eyes. So make sure you add your backs. That's important. His glasses were very tricky for me to invent, but I did it. And if you follow along with me, I will go as slow as possible, but if you follow along with me, you should be able to make them too. Okay, so you need some silver or gray yarn. You need 2 strands of a 4-strand yarn. So just split it in half, like that. You need a decent amount. This is a little confusing, so follow along with me, and I will pause a little bit after each step to make sure you guys can do it with me. But you can always pause the video and back it up if you need to. Okay, we are going to start from the inside. So see his eye right here. I'm going to go over one stitch and I'm going to come out that stitch like so. Keep pulling, but don't pull it all the way because you still need some on the inside. So yeah, that's good. Okay. Remember, we want to create a slightly circular shape. So we have to go at a few angles. Our first angle is we're going to go up into this stitch under the 10th spike stitch. Okay. And then while we're on the inside, we're going to go under the 11th spike stitch and come out. Now we're going to go back over to complete this stitch. So right there. Again, under the 10th spike stitch. Okay. Now we're on the inside of the head, so we're going to come out somewhere again. We're going to come out down one stitch right there. So here's the spike stitch, here's a stitch right underneath it. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go back in right here to again complete the stitch. See that? Okay. Now we're inside the head again, and we're going to go out somewhere again. We're going to go right here. Now, this could be a little tricky because your safety back could be in the way. Just maneuver your needle the best way you can. So right there. And then we want to connect these two, obviously. So we're going to go right here to go back in. You can always maneuver it a little bit if you don't like the placement. There you go. Okay. Now we're inside the head again, meaning we're going to come out somewhere again. We're right here where we went in, and we're going to come out right here. Like that. Make sure this doesn't get tangled. There we go. And we're going to go over to complete the stitch. Again, if the safety back is in your way, just move it around with your needle. Now we're going to go back out right here. So this is where we started. And we're going to go out. And back in right there to complete the stitch. The slower you pull on it, the less likely it is to get tangled. count back 3 stitches from your starting stitch, which is right here. So 1, 2, 3, right there. I'm going to come out that stitch because I'm already on the inside of the head. Okay, go over 2 stitches, 1, 2, and go in. Two stitches, come out. Over 2 again to complete the stitch. Go back in. Now you have half of his glasses. I am going to go right here, which is 1 stitch over from the eye on the right. Jump 2 stitches, go into his glasses, like so. There's the middle piece. Okay, so the other side, we come out right here. We go up right here. Over. Complete the stitch. Edge of his nose bracket. Up to complete the stitch. Down under that, like so. Go up to meet the nose bracket to complete the stitch. Okay, so I'm going to go right here. And connect it right there. Now, 1, 2, 3. Come out. Jump over 2. 1, 2. Go in. Connect the glasses right here. Meet to complete the stitch. Right there. And your tot now has glasses. Find a loop on the inside, pull it through, and create a knot. There you go. Fasten off. See? Super easy. Now we are going to start round 16. And I'm going to release that little loop. See, it's so much easier to do the glasses before you stuff or anything because you can get in and out of those stitches so much easier. Round 16. This round we work in the back loops only. That means these loops right here. These are our front loops. These are our back loops. And that's where we want to work into so that we create that nice, little flat top head. So into the first stitch, we're just going to make a single crochet. And I'm going to mark it. Same with the next stitch. Remember, back loops only. And now we're going to decrease. That means we're just going to go into the stitch, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, and pull up a loop. Pull through all 3. There's your decrease for a back loop only. That is your pattern. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, decrease. Whoop. Okay, you should have 18 stitches around. You can get rid of this stitch marker, by the way. There you go. I am going to stuff a little bit right now. Not too much. I just want to do a little bit of the bottom. So I'm going to break my fiber fill apart just a little bit. Stuff down in there, kind of tap so we have kind of a flat bottom. On to round 17. We are working in both loops now, so we're just going to do 1 single crochet and mark it. Then we're going to decrease, which I like to do the invisible decrease. So I like to go under the front loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. Next one is just a single crochet, under the front loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. That's our pattern. 1, decrease, 1, decrease, 1, decrease. Just like that. Okay. I'm gonna stuff a little bit more, and you should now have 12 stitches around. I just try to give it shape as I stuff. Pretty soon your hole's going to get a whole lot smaller and there's not going to be room to really put a lot of stuffing in there anymore. So this round is kind of where most of your stuffing should go. Next round, we are going to decrease 6 times. You can keep your finger in there if you want to kind of get the stuffing out of your way so you don't pick it up with your hook. So we are going to decrease 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, fasten off, decent sized tail. Pull your hook out. Get your tapestry needle. Sew the hole closed. As long as you're happy with your stuffing. If you want to stuff just a little bit more, go ahead. So there are lots of ways to close an amigurumi hole. This is just one of the ways. So you see these little kind of top loops that are sticking up right here? That's where our needle is going to go. So I'm going to go in the first loop, out the next loop, in, out, in, out. pull tight. Get all these little fuzzies from my stuffing. Okay. Now you have this kind of like little bump. You see it? I'm going to go in right there and go out somewhere on the head, above the ridge. So you don't want to go past the ridge. Kind of pull it tight. Get rid of any extraneous fuzzies. Okay. Go back in the head somewhere. You can just go back in and out a few times, just so your head lays relatively flat. And I'm going to go out one more time, kind of right there. Go out the body. Pull a little bit up so that it's fighting you. So you want this to be fighting you tension-wise, and then snip as close as possible, and it gets sucked back into the body. Roll to shape. Okay, now he's only missing one thing. That's where my Sharpie comes in handy. This is the ultra fine tip Sharpie, the one with the teeny tiny little tip. In the middle of his head, we're going to draw his lightning bolt. Well, not really in the middle, kind of off to the side, but you can do this with yarn if you want to. I am not the best at embroidery, so when I learned this trick that you could use Sharpie for stuff, I was in. Ta-da! Obviously, if you want to use red like a scar, go ahead. I just don't have red in the ultra fine tips, so I'm using black. Now we just grab his little scarf, wrap it around. You can absolutely sew it if you want to. I'm just going to tie it. But feel free to sew them onto their bodies, that's fine. I just like the removable options. And there is your Harry Potter tot. Which Potter tot would you like to see next? Well, I'm going to tell you which one's next, so. Hermione, of course. I couldn't put her in this video. I felt bad, but she gets a video all her own. She's special. So next TOT-torial will be Miss Hermione Granger. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to join our Facebook group. And remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too. You want to do the honors?